What's up, Taurus? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have all my Taurus friends here with me today. We are going to do your monthly September tarot spread for all the Tauruses out there. Cross watchers are welcome. Do keep in mind these are going to be general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with you. So please only take away messages that you feel are for your best and highest good. I always encourage you to come into this with an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes messages do take a little bit of time to resonate down the line, a week, a month, whatever it is for you. What else? What else do you need to know? Oh, check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs if you want additional messages, if you want more clarity. But it won't always be your message, so it's good to know when you can release messages and just move on to another video. That's totally fine. That being said, I hope lots of this resonates with you. Everything else you'll want to know will be in the description box below, including the decks I'm using, as well as my social media channels. Your cards came flying out. That's pretty good. So you must have lots of messages. Social media channels, cards I'm using are the thing below. Let's hop in. All right. For my Taurus friends, what do we need to know for the month of September? Your energy, Taurus, is King of Wands. I love it. Lion King. It's Leo energy. It's called the card of leadership. All right, cool. So taking on bigger tasks, bigger projects. We're headed into Virgo season. Actually, by the time you watch this, it will be Virgo season, which is a time of getting the processes done, right? In Leo season, we were getting the motivation, the zest, the fire, the creativity going, and now it's time to like show up to the table and do the work. And I think that's what you're absolutely doing. Your energy is coming off as the Fire King, right? This deck, the signs are a little bit different. For me, it's always been always a Leo card, but you could also be very Sagittarian. Something about like the philosopher, the deep thinker, utilizing this fire to allow like warmth of the kingdom. I know that's kind of a little bit like hippy dippy way of phrasing it, but yeah, it's like taking source and energy and power and doing good with it so that it serves the people. So this might be a work spread for some of you Tauruses. Interesting. What is this leadership about? Some of you may be being promoted. Some of you may be having something going on in the family where you're sort of like the backbone of the family. Everyone's looking to you for the answers or for the wisdom or for the guidance, like the philosophy, the hope, the faith of what's going to happen. Whoa, too many cards. We'll take the first one though because it showed itself to me. So the underlying energy of this King of Wands is the Princess of Cups. So the Page of Cups, the Page of Emotions, water energy, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So potentially getting some sort of message. It doesn't have to be from a female, but I am sort of sensing that. Getting some sort of emotional, I heard outpouring, emotional outpouring or news from a female. It could be coworker, family member, romantic partner. Let's see. There's something very interesting about this. I don't know if it's something about it is she comes off a little bit smug, but if it is that, it's almost like win at all costs. And I want to be careful with that because I don't know if it's a bad thing. It might be someone who's very willful because emotionally they're very invested in this. And I do think it's to get your attention, Taurus. Whether you're masculine or feminine, this is your energy. So yeah, it's like whatever has ignited your flame or your passion to charge forward and go after this project or this work endeavor, or potentially a romantic partnership. It's making you feel like king, like it's puffed up your feathers. You feel really like unstoppable, invincible. And it may have to do with someone in your life who's offering you this emotional support system, who's just like, I'm just getting like, babe, you got this. Like, no question at all. Like, you're going to be fine. You're king. That kind of, it's very blunt and straightforward. And there's no wiggle room for questioning and because it's the underlying energy, that's either something that exists within you, within your emotions. Emotionally, you know that you're going to be okay. But for a lot of you, I'm getting this is another energy that's helping to puff up your feathers, to inflate your ego in the best kind of way, though. It's not a bad thing. It's like, it's sort of this classic dynamic of And I hate to go to like archaic ways of looking at it, but it's like the man comes home and the wife is just like, hi, like, you're my king, you're my hero. Again, whether you're male or female, it's like you have an incredible support system who, like, they view you as the world. They have no question, no doubt at all that you are king of the jungle, right? Leo. Again, whether you're masculine or feminine, you can kind of throw the gender out the window, but yeah, strong emotional support system potentially from a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And it might be someone younger than you. It might be someone you're in a relationship with, and if that's the case, it's either someone you haven't been with a tremendous amount of time, or it's someone maybe like you had, I don't know if it was an on-again, off-again relationship. It's more like the energy of maybe you were friends for quite a long time, and then you've upped the ante to start dating, and I think you're kind of realizing what a wonderful like cheerleader they are for you. They fill you with confidence and make you feel like you can go out and conquer the world. Oh, Taurus, that's kind of lovely. I love that. All right, so what is your challenge or focus? The Five of Pentacles. Isolation. Yeah, well, that makes sense. If for you getting your head in the game involves the support of this person, if that person goes missing, right, be it they're, I don't know, on a business trip, or maybe, you break up, whatever it is, or if this is like a parental figure and then you go off to college or whatever it is for you, when you are by yourself, getting that strong foundation, that sense of stability and pride, and I got this, that's sort of your challenge or focus. There's an imbalance there. It can also be an imbalance of funds or money. Money might be tight. Money might be a struggle for you in the month of September, but you're doing the work. I mean, wands can absolutely be our work, our career, right? So it's like you're coming off as the king of career. So it's like you're going to get there. You're going to make strides, almost the one being like a walking stick, like slow and steady up the mountain, right? To achieve abundance, right? Bottom of your deck is Nine of Cups, to achieve blessings, but it's also emotional blessings. Water energy is very important in this spread. Again, this person may bring out the softer side of you. You guys remember those commercials from I think it was the 90s, come see the softer side of Sears? I don't even remember what that means. I'm sure it had to do with like women's clothing line or something like that, but that just came up. I don't know what that has to do with. Maybe your person works retail. I don't know. But they might bring out your softer side. This person may help you to get more in touch with your emotions. And maybe that's very uncomfortable for you because you're coming off as the fire king. It's like, if you've got this flame going and someone comes with metaphorically a bucket of water, you're going to be like, no. Right? Maybe you're a little bit hesitant because even the way it is, you're kind of looking off into the distance. So it's like, this is your foundation and they fill you with love so that you can conquer what's ahead. But I'm almost getting that maybe you're not acknowledging the significance of this person. Because then when you go off on your own, you're feeling isolated or at minimum imbalanced, right? It's almost like I'm almost getting like the idea of a good luck charm. When you're off on your own, you don't have that either emotional support or whatever it is. Maybe it's financial support. It could be. It's something like there's some sort of like silly metaphor here of going like, if I don't have this person around me, I'm not going to make my quota this year or this month or whatever it is. It's kind of like, yeah, these silly, what is the word? Superstitious. There's a superstition about this person in a good way. Their energy, when it's around you, it feels fantastic. When I think you're starting to realize when they're not, something is wacky. Something is out of order. And so I would be careful with that because you want to make sure you're not using this person for their love, for their money, right? But yeah, your challenge is not being with this person. What is this Five of Pentacles about? This isolation is what it's called. And if it is the case that they're feeding your soul with this yummy emotional love and support and energy and you're looking off somewhere else, they're not going to be there for you forever if you're not treating them right. And so that could be your challenge or focus is maybe some of them peace out because it wasn't a reciprocal relationship. Yeah, it's like you guys took a step back because after the Five of Pentacles is the Six, which is reciprocity, right? There's balance, there's equal give and take. There isn't right now. And so maybe that's what you're working your way up to. Let's see. What is this isolation about, please? Clarify, the Five of Pentacles, we'll call it. And this is one of your cards, Taurus, so the Two of Cups, yeah. Guys, need I say more? The Two of Cups, the lovers, the partnership. And again, it could be business partnership, but I mean, with this deck, you know, I wouldn't say it's completely platonic. We'll put it that way. Yeah, the underlying energy is like there's either imbalance in funds, the financial situation, or the building blocks of what you guys are building together. The future that you're building together, it's imbalanced right now. There's some sort of isolation, so isolation meaning one, but also something about the double entendre of ice being frozen out. That's how your person, I think, is feeling. You may have these very, what is the term? Grand scale ideas of things you need to achieve and accomplish, right? Your fire energy, it's like you're in a lower vibration. I want to be careful how I say this. The Fire King, right? He can be a little bit scattered. His eyes go where the light is, right? So again, in a lower vibration, a King of Wands who is not vibing high can be a little bit scattered or be a little bit flighty or not know who to give his warmth to all at once. Maybe, yeah, it's almost like an all or nothing. It's like, I can only invest in you when I'm here, but when I go on business trips across the country, I forget to call you. It's that type of like here or there. And that's not typically what a Fire King would do. And maybe this isn't you, Taurus. Maybe this is all reversed and is your person. Again, take what resonates. But yeah, there's something about the gentle reminder of, yeah, but who got you here? Who amped you up? Who is your cheerleader this whole time? And are you disregarding them? Are you forgetting about them? Are you freezing them out? Are you isolating them? I mean, it looks passionate and lovely, right? There's flowers blooming behind them. There's potential for growth here. Even something about like the emanating light from the cups. There's like spirituality between you guys. Maybe you have similar values or even similar faiths. Something that it's like a tangible though with pentacles that it could work together and have great potential. I even see the imagery of like eggs in terms of creating projects together, creating babies, creating a life, creating a family together. But yeah, your challenge or focus is fighting through that imbalance and potentially that isolation. I'm just getting somebody is not, there isn't the reciprocity card. We're working our way towards that. So yeah, somebody isn't giving as much as the other person is. I just saw Princess of Swords. So that is the Page of Swords. Yeah, maybe there needs to be more communication here. Or I'm going to say it because it's here. There could be a third party energy. Maybe somebody is involved with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so they're having to split their time between people. Potentially, not for everybody. But yeah, something about cutting out. And yeah, I don't know. Something about her face here is a little bit like conniving and manipulative. It's not this. These are two very different energies. This one is much more forceful. Something, maybe like a secret you're protecting. I don't know what that would be about. I just heard I'll cut a bitch. I think it was said like in a joking way, but that's actually pretty dark. I'm almost getting like Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction, and then like Anne Archer, the sweet, nurturing, motherly type, if you've seen that movie. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So that card didn't fall out, so I'm going to put it back in because maybe it will fall out again. But yeah, again, you'll know if that's your story, I think. Because yeah, if you're not this king, if your king is cutting you off and going dark on you for maybe weeks at a time, maybe 5 weeks at a time, but when you're together, it feels like this really nice, new, fun relationship. Yeah, maybe have a conversation. Communicate. Absolutely. Communicate what you're feeling. And yeah, don't jump to conclusions. But I mean, if this is you're quite intuitive, right? If you're coming off as this water sign energy with your cup here, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, you're extremely intuitive. You don't take things at face value because what you feel is frequently your truth. This person's thoughts are their truth, if that makes sense. So yeah, very different dynamics. Anyway. All right, so what is the help available to you, Taurus? The Eight of Swords, restrictions. Okay. Eight of Swords, the mental prison we place ourselves in. It's frequently a card of fear. The I can't card. I can't do it because I don't have enough money. I can't do it because I have children I need to support. I can't do it because whatever. I'm not old enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have the degrees and the experience, the education. It's things that we do to keep ourselves, it's almost subconsciously keep ourselves stuck so that we can't move. It feels like we're pinned to the ground, or that we have, a mental prison of swords surrounding us. I mean, look, there are angel wings in the back, right? It's like these swords are pinning these angel wings down to the ground. It's like you're meant to fly. You're meant to do something greater and move on. But yeah, something about your thoughts are keeping you stuck here. For some of you, it may have to do with this relationship. Thinking that this is your person, and yeah, I don't know. This isolation and imbalance is giving me huge pause. Because the underlying energy is a Two of Cups. Two is a brand new relationship or partnership. So as I was saying, someone you may have been friends with and then you took it to the next level. If you're having hesitation or thought about, I feel like I'm giving and giving and giving, and they're just completely draining me of this love and this energy, and it's not coming back my way. What's keeping you stuck here? Why are you staying in a situation where you don't feel like there's reciprocity? I'm just going to throw that out there for anyone resonating. Do you think that this is your person and you won't ever find love again? Because unless we start seeing some reciprocity here, I don't know. This could also have to do with committing. The Eight of Swords being, I'm afraid to commit because I will lose my sense of freedom. My independence. Yeah, for a lot of you, it's one person fearing their independence will be lost if they actually commit to this relationship. That's why they're not giving wholeheartedly, is because they're not sure what direction. Okay, they're not sure what direction they're building in. The way it looks on my table, it's like the person giving support and then the one receiving it, they're looking off at the financial aspects or the tangible building blocks. Sorry for the light, I know it's bad. But I do think there's recognition on one or both parts that this imbalance of funds or building blocks, of building towards the future, it has something to do with this relationship. So either it's a negative relationship that needs to be severed, or it's a positive relationship that needs to be invested in more, okay? Those are kind of the two scenarios here. Prince of Cups. Yeah, there needs to be more emotion on someone's part. That's a Piscean card. Can we clarify this Eight of Swords? What is this restriction about? Now, this is the help available. So, it has to do with liberating yourself from restriction, or the idea, sorry, this just came through too. If you're being restricted, if you're metaphorically putting your cup out for this person to take, and almost like a bird, is it a bird bath where it's like they come and drink from your water? It's like, you're this well of love and even luck, as we were saying, this superstitious energy of I need this person in my life. If you're being used in some sort of way, and you're trying to get this off the ground, you're trying to build with this person, but there's no reciprocity. The idea of this restriction being helpful to you is that a couple things. Either it's not meant to happen right now. Universe, spirit is holding you guys back or separating you guys for a reason. Maybe this king has some things he needs to work out, and maybe that king is you, Taurus, right? Whatever. But also the idea of if you're feeling restricted and you are looking to grow. Now, there's really not a lot of wand energy here on this person's part, but on this person there is. They're looking to grow. So if something is keeping them restricted, it's almost like this is lessons. This is thoughts of if you're fearing being tied down, if you're fearing losing your independence that much, maybe that's why this is only like presenting as a Two of Cups. It was a lovely relationship, and maybe it brought love into your heart, and you maybe learned some lessons that, hey, I don't have enough love for myself because I'm so reliant on this person to give me love. Yeah, maybe these are some harsh truths, some harsh lessons that you need to free yourself of. And maybe this person was almost like an angel in disguise. They came into your life to introduce you to the idea that, yeah, it's like you have this really very like intense, go after it, achieve success, that kind of like driven motivation. But when you get home at the end of the day, it's like you're tapped, you're even your spirituality or your love of self, it's drained. It's like you're relying on other people to make you feel good about yourself so that you can go out and conquer the world. that is an imbalance. Eventually, if you're trying to build off of that, off of a support system that is not steady, it's like you can't build off of a 5. Yeah, this is almost like a lesson. A lesson in self-love is sort of what I'm getting. You're holding yourself back, though. That's frequently what the 8 of Swords is. And it's being clarified by the 7 of Wands. Yeah. I just heard a dance with the devil. Yeah, something's keeping you stuck. I mean, clearly, right? The 7 of Wands, it's more fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. This is a Gemini card for those interested. Could be Aquarius or Libra. 7 of Wands has to do with some sort of strain or battle, having to defend yourself, feeling like you have people or objects coming at you and you're constantly like deflecting them off with your own wand. It's like you're having to fight back a little bit to prove your strength ultimately to yourself. That's what this card is about. So the 7 of Wands comes after the 6. With the 6, there's some sort of victory or accomplishment or acknowledgement that you've made it through some sort of challenge, and there's tremendous pride in that. Maybe it's this challenge. So now you're at the 7 though, so you're having to like get back out there and fight for what you really want. Okay, that's what this is. If this person is of value to you, the one who sort of maybe taught you a very harsh lesson in self-love, in maybe reciprocity, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but there is sort of a selfish energy. It's like, I want to be the leader, but it's like this leader is so dependent on his followers that like, how much of a leader is he if again, his self-worth, right? Pentacles, if his self-worth and the way he values himself and how he views and believes himself to be, if it's just kind of corroded and needing that, again, that codependency, needing someone else to puff up their feathers and make them feel good, that's like a battle that you're having to fight. I am getting that whoever's relating to this, you're extremely busy. You don't have a lot of time to understand where these negative thoughts are coming from because it feels like you're constantly having to put out fires. Maybe you have a million people at work coming at you with, I need this and I need that. Or maybe you have family. Maybe you have a lot of fire signs in your family and they're constantly coming at you, Taurus, with, are you going to do this? And are you going to come visit? And are you going to go to this party? And, Aunt so-and-so needs your help here. And are you going to pick up the kids here? And maybe there's a lot of challenges and obstacles because I think maybe you've achieved some level of success. I am sort of getting at work. But because of that, yeah, it's like this relationship may have fallen to the wayside. And now you're sort of in this self-imposed, self-made prison of either feeling restricted from the tasks that are being thrown your way or potentially having to commit to a person that I'm not certain you even know how to feel about it. I think you're very out of touch with what emotions are real and yeah, maybe what in the heat of the moment feels right with the Fire King. Yeah, interesting. Let's throw one of these cards on it. Okay, this is you having to fight the battle alone. For whoever's relating to this story, the person who is codependent and is relying on someone else to like build their ego, to stroke their ego a little bit so they can go out and fight the fight every day. This is saying that you are doing that to yourself by not recognizing like the truth of the matter. You need to free yourself from this prison by fighting your own fight, fighting your own battles. It may have to do with isolating yourself so that you can learn to be alone. Some of you may feel like you have to leave this person behind because you need time to like come into yourself, to grow as a person, right? Wands, tremendous amount of growth, right? This person isn't always going to be there. They can't always be your emotional support system. And the thing is, I do think you feel quite fondly of them because on some level, the Nine of Cups is coming up. Blessings. This person was or is a blessing in your life. Emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment, right? Dreams coming true. But it's almost like in order to obtain that nirvana, that beautiful wish fulfillment, there's still some challenges or struggles, but this is the help. It is going to be helpful to you to recognize these false beliefs or false thoughts that you aren't good enough by battling through it yourself, by standing up and like facing it for yourself. Coming forward to bust through walls and obstacles, and I am getting a false belief. Proving to yourself that you are good enough, that you are strong enough. Only there's no one's got your back but spirit. It's you and spirit fighting this fight. So, yeah. This person, and I'm not saying that they're completely in the right here. This person may have been overly catering to you, especially if they are a Cancer or a water sign. They may have been like, oh, what is the word? Drowning you in their emotions and love. And that's sort of an unhealthy energy too. Maybe you both needed time apart to come into your own, right? To stand on your own 2 feet, to free yourself from some sort of mental prison and learn to bust through and have faith in yourself. It's a card of having faith. Spirit's watching over you. Spirit's got your back. But yeah, it's like you have to fight. You're going to have to fight some of these battles on your own. And that is going to help bring more blessings and emotional fulfillment into your life. Because that's what at least one person is lacking tremendously. I just have to say it. They don't love themselves. Sweetheart. Yeah, it's like you're getting notes from the person you had to separate yourself from. You guys still might be in communication. You might still be texting, or if some of you, it's adorable if you're actually sending letters in the mail. It's like this very old school way of like courting somebody. There's distance here, but it was needed in order to grow, in order to get to reciprocity, the Six of Pentacles, in order to get to a steady, solid foundation where you guys can build together. It's like one or both of you was in like this mental prison of like these thoughts that were just tormenting you, and you never actually took time to actually wade through them and fight them and understand why you're having these thoughts. Essentially, you're fighting the fight, but you're fighting the fight for your sweetheart. It's something how that Page of Swords came up earlier. Fighting for what you believe in, fighting for maybe the person you want. Maybe that's what this is. It's like you present as a King of Wands, but really on the inside you feel like you're just the Page of Swords. Like you're still a very small young warrior in this battle of life. I think it's almost like you see yourself as, I've got a long way to go on this. I'm working through this. But yeah, it's like I needed to isolate myself to get out of this mental restriction I've been in. But this is very optimistic to me. It's the idea of you're still keeping in touch with the person who I think offered you this love. And maybe this is just a friend. Maybe this is your mother. Maybe this is your father. But again, it's the idea of I can't be with, you're not always going to be with me. You're not always going to be right by my side. You know, we need to be able to grow in different directions and then still come together and exchange cups maybe at the end of the day or down the line. But yeah, it's like, you're fighting these fights because I think this person tapped into something very deep emotionally with you that otherwise had been neglected. And so yeah, it's like you owe a tremendous amount of appreciation to this potentially a water sign, this emotional support system. And again, for some of you, it's like your mother. It's like they're reaching out, hi, sweetheart, just checking on you. But for others of you, it's literally your sweetheart. It's your romantic partner. You're keeping in touch with them, but yeah, it's like some of you actually may be involved in the military, like literally going to fight the fight. And yeah, keeping in touch and communication with these people. And it's hard to be away from them. That could be what's coming through here as well. All right, interesting. So what is your advice or guidance, Taurus? The Queen of Swords. Independence, guys. Independence. That's what we've been saying the whole time. Fighting the fight. Standing in your truth. Fighting for what you believe in. But also fighting for yourself and what you deserve. Some of you may need to leave a toxic work relationship or work community. or potentially a toxic partner. But I have to be honest, I'm hesitant to say that. I have a little bit of reservation to pinpoint either of these as toxic, because I think both these people had a tremendous amount of growing and learning to do. And it has to happen eventually, right? So more power to you if you're coming to the realization like, hey, these thoughts, these actions are not healthy, I should work through them. Great. Better late than never, right? I can't fault anybody for wanting to improve themselves, even if it is a bit late in the game, right? Yeah, your advice or guidance is keep fighting the fight. It's how we were saying, maybe you view yourself as like the Princess of Swords, whether you're male or female, a younger warrior, someone who's still learning, right? Education, thoughts, knowledge, seeking truths. It's like you're bumping yourself up to the Queen of Swords. There's tremendous amount of growth and potential, not only in your life, but in the way you view things and the way you view yourself. It's like you're fighting to get out of this prison, Taurus, if that lands for you. Put it this way. You're fighting to get out of there. Keep fighting the fight. Keep practicing being independent and having to go out and do stuff on your own, because it's going to restore balance in your life. It's the card of Libra, also Gemini and Aquarius. Yeah, the Magician. You have the power to create amazing, wonderful things in your life. And you always have. You've always had the tools on your table, but it's like all of a sudden with these eyes, it's like there's a recognition. There's a light bulb moment of, oh, I've been living in this mentality of thinking these were my truths. Maybe you were told your entire life that you aren't good enough, that you're too fat, that you're too dumb. All these awful, awful thoughts that you're having about yourself. This is like a realization moment of coming into your power and cutting out the false truths. Standing in your own truth of who you are and what you believe and how you view the situation, right? And it's all based in your own balance. Balancing your heart and your head. Again, emotions played a real important, it was like a key factor in all of this. You're finally seeing the truth. Some of you may be involved with a Leo or have that strong in your chart. A parent could be a Leo. And it's like, it's something about their thoughts it's like you were programmed or brainwashed to believe certain things a certain way. And yeah, then this person came in and completely changed the game and you're like, oh, you mean I can do this? You mean I don't have to do it this way? It changes your belief. You're starting to really see things as they are. You're seeing it with truth and clarity. And then you also have the King of Swords. So potentially a divine counterpart, right? This could also represent someone you're fighting against. So for some of you, the internal balance, but also your masculine and your feminine side, getting I don't want to say a grip, but essentially balancing those two things out. It's like an internal battle. Some of you may be interested in an Aquarius or a Libra. For a lot of you, this is the thought of that person you had to leave behind. Again, you might be fighting for them slowly but surely. And maybe if this is someone sending you a letter or vice versa, this may be you actually deciding to communicate back and to fight for them. Send some sort of message with this. Yeah, messengers. And that came up earlier, the Page of Swords. Sending messages back and forth like, with more truth and clarity and like, they're kings and queens now. There's been a tremendous amount of growth. It's not just about the lust or the passion, if you will, or ego of money-hungry success. And I'm sorry, no shade. I just have to say it because it's coming up. But yeah, this is seeing things with much more truth and much more clarity. Your eyes have been opened to new possibilities. All right, cool. That is what I got for you, Taurus. Please let me know in the comments below what resonated for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Hit the wiggly bell over here if you want notifications when I post, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.